Hey, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the 5 things you should absolutely do on every single webinar that you put on that will dramatically increase conversions. Let's get into it. So firstly, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Penberthy. I'm the founder of AdClients.com, where we help you create, launch, and scale your online courses and coaching programs. And I'm pleased you're here. Listen, this is a topic that I love. Webinars, whether they're live, whether they're automated, that whole topic I've been able to build my business on. At the time of recording this video, myself, my company, my team, we've generated over $10 million online. And the lion's share of that has come from webinars. If I had to guesstimate, something around 80%, something in the region of $8 million has been generated from our live and our automated webinars. This is something that we have thrown ourselves in 100% and figured out the best way to do webinars in different industries, for different offers, at different price points, and we've been teaching this to hundreds of our clients now over the course of the last few years. Why am I telling you this? Well, I just want you to know that this is a topic that we understand. We live and breathe this on a daily basis, and I want to share with you these 5 things that you can be doing to increase your conversions. And firstly, if you're not already using webinars in your business, you absolutely need to. Okay, right now is still prime time. So many people talk about webinars are saturated, they don't work anymore, they're outdated. Absolutely not. You've got to stay with the times, you've got to be fluid in your approach to it because there is some adapting to be done. But webinars do still work incredibly well, and they are very, very profitable if done right. So if you're not making the sales you want right now, getting the clients you want, if you don't understand how to make your business profitable, if it just feels like you're stuck, webinars could well be the answer. So here's a starting point. 5 things you must do. The first thing, you cannot assume that people that have jumped on your webinar are going to stick around for the entire presentation. This is an issue. This is a problem that I see with some of our clients, and we have to train them, out of this, okay? And it's something that other people are just not even giving thought to. They assume that when someone registers for a webinar and they show up on the webinar, whether it's live or whether it's automated, doesn't matter. They've showed up, so surely they're going to stick around for the whole 90 minutes or however long your webinar is. That is completely untrue. Think about how many times you've registered for a webinar. You've showed up, but in the back of your mind, you're thinking there is a gazillion and one things I could be doing right now with my time. And if I'm not hooked on this presentation very quickly, I'm just going to click the X button. I'm going to leave. I'm going to head off. How many times have you left early from a webinar? I know you've done it because I've done it. We all do it. So we cannot assume they're going to stick around. So here's the first tip. You must utilize that first 5 minutes to hook their attention. Make sure they understand that they're in the right place. Don't spend the first 5 minutes just waffling on, doing the whole, hey, where are you calling in from or whatever, and spending the entire first 5 or 10 minutes doing that. You've got to couple that, because that's good, but you've got to couple that with making sure you hook their attention and make sure they understand that they're in the right place. Readdress what the topic is very quickly. Grab their attention by teasing them with some of the stuff you're going to be covering. Confirm again who this is for and why they should care about the presentation that they're currently on right now. Hooking the attention in the first 5 minutes gives you a better chance and having them stick for a longer duration of the webinar, which of course increases your chances that they'll hear the offer and take action on the offer out the other end. So that's the first thing. First 5 minutes, hook their attention. Oh, good tip. Do another tip? Here it comes. The second thing, once you've hooked their attention, you've got to, at some point in what I teach my clients is called the setting of the stage. Setting of the stage is the first 50 minutes. I have a framework and a whole process that I give to my clients with just fill in the blanks and paint by numbers. But there's a big section of that is a story. And you need to use a story in the setting of the stage, in the first 15 minutes of your webinar, to connect with the right type of person. Stories are very powerful. Stories allow someone to feel like they can relate to you, relate to your story. It allows you to display that you understand them through the journey that you've been on. It allows you to describe where they're at and how they're feeling through the way that you're telling your story. Right? The story that you tell, and to be honest, the fact that you just use a story period is incredibly important, okay? It's not just about teaching on a webinar. It's not just about hooking attention. It's about bringing in a little bit of emotion and allowing yourself to be vulnerable with your story and telling your story in a way that will connect with your ideal customers, all right? So the story is really important. That's the second thing. Make sure you include stories, but more importantly in the first 15 minutes so that once you've hooked their attention, now you hook them emotionally as well. Ooh, another good tip. Another one? The third is the training. Okay, we all know that a webinar should have some value in it, right? The whole point of someone registering for a webinar is not just to hear a sales pitch, okay? They're registering for a webinar because they believe there's some value, they believe there's going to be some training. So you need to have that, okay? I do see some webinars that is just too much like a glorified sales pitch. Now, interestingly enough, disguised, it kind of is, yeah? Like the whole point of a webinar is to get someone to the end, to hook their attention, to hear the offer and take action. We're not just giving the training out for free, are we? So in one sense, it is disguised, it is a sales pitch, but you need to genuinely have some value and training in there. And I find that people go too far one way or the other. They either do not have any training and they're losing their audience because it's just a glorified sales pitch, or they go too far the other way. They teach too much. They go too much into the weeds, too much into the details, that by the time the offer comes, their head is so full of training, they're so much in training mode that they're not ready to make a buying decision. So you've got to find that middle ground, and I haven't got time to go into this in detail. I've got a 3-hour section of this in our client training portal. It's a big topic. But a tip for you, you've got to find that middle ground between, yes, it's a sales pitch, and not over teaching. And you've got to find that middle ground there. I said middle ground so many times. But that's okay, because it was a good tip.
It was a good tip.
You want another one?
Yeah.
The fourth thing is you want to, oh, that was nice. Did you see that? Yeah, my pen just rolled and then connected to my pad. All by itself. Magnets. And now I'm looking down realizing it probably did the most pathetic little roll. Yeah. I mean, in my head, I was picturing it over here. The fourth thing is creating buyer demand before you actually get to the offer, okay? Most people think about webinars as, okay, we've got the intro, we've got the training, and then we go into the offer. And that's when we create the buyer demand. That's when we create that feeling that they will want to sign up for whatever it is that you are selling. Again, that's untrue. You can create buyer demand all the way through the webinar. In fact, you want to. You want to get near the end of the webinar, you're about to go into the offer, you want your attendees to already be thinking, I would want to sign up for this thing. Like whatever they're going to offer me, I'm going to be interested because you've already created that buyer demand. Now there's lots of ways that you can do that, but let me give you one tip. You want to seed your offer all the way through. So throughout the training, throughout the webinar, throughout the setting of the stage, you want to be dropping in client testimonials, mentioning your clients, mentioning the fact that you have a coaching or a training program. Okay? The more you seed those words, the more you talk about your coaching, your training, your clients, the more you do that, woven into great training that isn't too far into the specific training and isn't so close to a sales pitch, that right type of training. When they get to the offer, they'll already be part sold and it makes the offer section so much easier. Great tip. You like that one? Number 4, let me give you 5. And the fifth and final thing is the urgency and the scarcity to take action on that particular webinar. It's one of the reasons why you'll see the conversion rate on your webinars dropping or not really making any sales at all. You could get a lot of the other stuff done correctly, but if there's no urgency for someone to take action in that moment, as much as they liked you, as much as they enjoyed your training, as much as they like the sound of the offer, if there's no urgency to take action right now, if they believe they can come back to you later and sign up at a later date, there's no urgency to make a decision right there on the webinar. You know, an example that I've used before is like, imagine you go into a retail store, a clothing store. You see a jacket that you really like, okay? But there is 10 on the rack, all your size. And you went in the day before and there were still 10, you're in there again today, there's still 10, you're pretty sure you're gonna go there again tomorrow and there'll still be 10 in your size, everything's good. You want it, there's desire for that jacket, but there's no urgency to take action right now, so you leave again. Now, imagine you go into that store, and on this particular occasion, there was that one jacket in your size, and the entire rest of the rack was cleared out. You knew that it was popular. People were buying this jacket, there was one left, it just happens to be in your size, this is the chance. In fact, you can see across the store, there's another dude who is eyeing you up and eyeing up the jacket. He's further away, but you know that he wants it too. Now there's some urgency. Now there's a reason for you to act on the desire. You wanted the jacket all along in both scenarios, but now there's a reason to take action right now. Same thing happens in the online space, okay? You've presented an offer, people want it, and now you've got to present some urgency to take action right now. That can come in the form of perhaps a discount. That can come in the form of only having X number of people signing up. That can come in the form of bonuses that you're only offering to people that are on the webinar with you right now. I mean, that's just a few examples. There's a bunch more. Urgency and scarcity is very important to have people take action. So that's it. Those are the 5 things to dramatically increase the conversions on your webinars. Hope that helps. If you're not using webinars right now, or maybe you are but not using them effectively, you should really consider working with me and my team. We have a coaching program where we'll walk you through this entire thing. We'll give you scripts, templates, frameworks, and we have regular coaching calls to critique your work and make sure that it is spot on. And we'll actually walk with you, hold you by the hand to launch your webinar and your offer and turn on traffic and make it profitable so that you can build your business to that 6- and 7-figure level. If that's what you need, if that type of coaching sounds attractive, then just go ahead and click the link in the description box. That'll take you to a page. You can hear more about who we are as a company, what we offer, how we can help, and we can jump on the phone and see if it's a good fit and if we're the right team to help you. So go ahead and do that. We only work with a few people every single month, and if we're making this invitation, which we are right now, it's because we have some spots. So go ahead, get in touch. Let's see if it's a good fit. And outside of that, thanks for watching this video. Hope it was helpful. Don't forget to like the video, drop us a comment. We love reading through your comments, and let us know which of those 5 things you think you could improve on, or which of those 5 things you have found most helpful. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification. We put out a couple new videos every single week. All right, so with that, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.